Deeply they dug into the bowels of the earth itself. Far under the clay flats, they found a cavern layer where they were able to build some production of food and drink. Now, with most of their base needs sorted out, they turned their attention to their main goal, to set up a base to start the production of the most elusive of dwarven goods, soap. Hello, and welcome back to our little dwarf fortress out in the middle of nowhere. As I was just saying, last episode we did manage to set up this little base for them. We have foods, we have a place to eat the foods, we have a little temple to pray in if the dwarves need that. There is over here a kind of masonry area where we're able to turn the stone into blocks or anything else we need, such as these tables and these chairs. We have a carpenter area over here where we be able to take the wood that we find, which isn't in large supplies anymore, and to turn them into other things that we need. Right now, they're just producing barrels, which we actually kind of do need, but we'll get back to that in a bit. We also have this dormitory for the dwarves and a single bookshelf over here that doesn't have any books in it, but I'm sure they're happy to have that in their dormitory. We have moved most of the animals, are in the procedure of moving most of these animals down here, and I'm once again not 100% sure that they can actually eat these fungi floors. We're about to find out, as one of the yaks is hungry. Other than that, if we go back up to the top right now, most of the animals have indeed been moved. It looks like there's a stray dog here that's seriously injured. Oh no. She didn't feel anything while in conflict. She was afraid after experiencing trauma, and she's seriously injured. I don't actually know if we can help the dog right now. We don't have a hospital for the dwarves, let alone a veterinary clinic, and I'm not even sure in this game if you can actually save animals such as this. Grisly to be sure. Okay, we still have our wagon with some goods in it. Yeah, we have quite a bit still in there actually, and at some point we're going to want to bring that into the fortress so that like dingoes don't run away with stuff. But for now, what we are going to do is start looking towards building what we need to have our little production of soap. Now, before we do anything else, let's take a look over here. So Soap Maker's Workshop. Oh, let's actually, before clicking on that, just read what the tooltip says. Use tallow, rendered fat, or oil here with lye to make soap. Okay, so what does that mean? It means we need tallow, which comes from animal fat, which we're not actually that interested in using for our soaps, for two reasons. One is that many of the animals that we brought with us have died, and I don't believe we're actually going to have enough animals in this fort to be able to base ourselves off that to make a scalable soap making empire. So we're going to and secondly, of course, that we actually do have something that makes oil. That was the quarry bushes that we set up. So we're going to be using oil to make our soap, but we also need lye. Now, to make lye, if I'm not mistaken, that is being done in an ashery. Does it say? Yes. Used to make lye potash and milk of lime. Construction requires blocks, barrel, and a bucket. And the ashery is going to need, to make lye, I believe they need ash. Thus the name, of course. Which you need a furnace and a wood furnace to make. Make charcoal and ash from wood here. Does not require fuel. Okay, so the furnace itself doesn't require fuel, but it does need the wood. So we have a wood furnace to make ash, and then we have an ashery that needs the ash. I'm not sure if it needs fuel, but all of those need wood. which we're going to have them built right around here, I think. So 3 by 3 for the ashery and 3 by 3 for the wood furnace. That's thing number one. And we can start this going again. Okay, let's hope everything goes fine with that. After that, we're going to need a place to actually make the soap. Actually, we're going to need, if we're scaling it, we're going to have to grow out here. But for now, we're just going to make the soap making facility over here. Once there, let me pause this for a second. There's a skull and crossbone. Has been found starved to death. Oh no, is that this? Was irritated after hunger. Is she healthy now though? Where's this yak? Oh, that's, yeah, we knew about that one. Okay. Sounds a bit cruel, but we did know about that. And our planter needs rock nuts. Okay. We'll get to that in a little bit of time, planter. Okay. So back to what we were doing. The ashery and the charcoal making stuff, the first furnace. Here we go. We're going to queue that up. Before I forget what I'm doing. So this over here, we're going to use sandstone. Why not? It's a nice looking stone. And we're also going to go to the workshop, farming, and we're going to click on the wrong thing. We need an ashery. Yes, an ashery. And once again, sandstone. We're going to use this tower cap barrel, and we're going to use this spore tree bucket. So we now have something to make ash and something to turn that ash into lye. Now, the next thing we're going to need is we're going to go ahead and queue up the soap maker's workshop. And I'm thinking of making the soap maker's area over here. And if we need to expand this ashery area, it'll be over here. So let's go ahead and just make a single opening here and 1 space to move, 3 space to have the soap makers. So let's just do that for now. And we can like spread this out this way. So we're going to make just a few holes here and dig this up, and we'll have all the soap making things we need here, including the soap up here and a store spot. What is this called? Item storage stockpile. And a stockpile up here. If you can't tell, my brain is a bit slow this morning, but that's okay. And we're just going to let them do that. So they should be building this over here. Now for the rock nuts and to make the oil, we need 2 things, right? We first off need something to be able to grind up the quarry bush leaves to make the oil. And to do that, we're going to need something called a quern. Or quern? I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Quern, quern. I think it's quern. So let's queue up a quern for that. And we could have this over here. We'll just have 1 for now. And secondly, we are going to, and this actually refers to what I was saying at the start of last video, we need clay. And if that doesn't make too much sense, it's because we need to make jugs to hold the oil in, which is not something that I have. Okay, they are no longer brewing drinks. That's fine. If we don't have anything for that. And you see some of the current bushes have been grown and have been picked up. And now we have rock nuts going back into the ground. I believe that's how that works. Otherwise, the kern will do the work. Good. So, as this is happening, let's scroll back up to the top floor up here. And we do have clay loam. That was actually the reason I selected this area in the first place. So, we are going to, I believe it is in furnaces. Kiln, yes. So let's set up a kiln right here at the entrance. Once again, sandstone, I might as well. And we'll have a little location set down for clay right here. And that'll be to pick up the clay. Actually, yes, I did do that right. And we're going to select that, add new task, collect clay, and just let it go for a while, I think. Okay, Hopefully it doesn't use too much of something I need. Okay, so workshop. A soap maker's workshop. And let's place this down. Tree bucket. And we'll make it out of sandstone as well. Keep the tradition that I've started over here going, I guess. Alright, the dwarves are running around now. We do indeed have the wood furnace set up. So let's click on that and make some ash. Let's queue up 3, 4, 5 ash. Fantastic. And we are running out of mushroom caps. So I did want to make ash right away. And the reason is I want to test out making lime before we move forward. So if I click on make lye and just and just select this to repeat indefinitely, they should be taking the ash and making that. So we have ash here. Is there something else that it needs? Someone's working on it. So what are they going to bring down? A spore tree bucket. Interesting. So are they putting the ash in a bucket? Let's wait and see. If that's the case, I'm going to need more buckets. Yeah. Yep. And here we go. So we have lye in a bucket. This is a spore tree bucket. It has a lye. I don't know if it can have more than one lye at a time. So, make barrels. We're also going to have you make buckets, my dude. Here we go. Let's just pause the barrel making for now and have you make buckets. Yeah, it needs empty bucket. Okay. Fine. Let's pause it for a second. Do we have a kern? Yep, claystone kern right there. So we're going to go ahead and I believe it's in workshops farming. It is right there. And we'll place this down here, claystone kern, and let that run. And we'll go back as they're doing this to check up on the clay. So if we go back up to the top, aha, clay loam. Ooh, so it doesn't need a bag or anything for this, unlike sand to make glass. This is very good. Okay, and we're going to, let's take a look. Collect clay, make instrument, everything else requires fuel, including making a clay jug. Ah, okay. Let's go back down to here. Select the wood furnace, and we're going to make some charcoal. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And we are running out of wood, it seems. Oh, and running out of buckets. Oh, okay. It seems we're already bumping into a bit of a bottleneck, and that bottleneck is called wood. Okay. This is something that I had thought might be a problem, but I actually have a plan or two as to how to mitigate some of that. Okay. So we're going to start by trying to just make some soap, just to get that out of the way, right? So we have charcoal, we have ash. Let's go back up. We've run out of wood, it looks like. Oh, yes, we did. Okay, let's go back up to the kiln. And we're going to start... Oh, we can have like a hive. That's pretty cool. But we're not doing that right now. Let's focus on the jug and just make us some jugs. There we go. And someone seems to be working on it. Okay, someone's already moved over to clay. Charcoal is here, so it doesn't take them too long to pick up that charcoal. And any minute now we should have a jug appearing. Okay. Ah, there we go. Unglazed earthenware jug. That's okay. It doesn't need to be... Ooh, does it? No, it doesn't need to be glazed. I think that'll be fine. I think they can work with that. I think glazed jugs are just decorative mostly. I mean, in the game, they do serve a purpose in real life. Okay, so we have our kern over here. We're also going to have mill plants. Oh, what are we missing? Need millable unrotten plants. I'm sorry, what? Did we not have quarry bushes queued up? Yeah, the leaves are right here. Is it not the bushes that we need to mill? Ooh, that may be an issue. Okay. So we have a kern, and if we try to... We don't have any plans for the kern. We currently have 1 rock nut. What happened to all our rock nuts? Okay. Mash plants into slurry. Oil-bearing seeds. Mill seeds, nuts to paste. Actually, this is what we want. We don't want mill plants. We want this. So maybe that was part of the issue. Ah, here we go. World saving. Let's just wait for that to be done. And we are back. The save has now ended. But with the save comes a new season. It is now early autumn, which means that the traders are going to be coming by soon, and we still don't have any soap to sell. That's unfortunate. Okay, I'm not sure why we don't have oil-bearing seeds, considering that we're running out of quarry bushes, rock nuts rather. That shouldn't be happening. When you pick it up, they should be getting more, as far as I understand, but maybe I'm a little confused. We may have to put off the production of soap until we get more space for trees, which I'm alluding to my grand scheme over here, and potentially more quarry bushes from that trade. Okay, so without the oil, I don't think we can make any soap. Let's see. Oil containing item, we don't have any. Unrotten tallow fatty glob, we don't have any. Okay. Let's have a think here. So we don't really have any animals that could be used for tallow. I mean, the cats, but I feel horrible about that, and unless they're overfed, they're probably not very fatty either. Okay. What else do we have? We need one of those 2 things. We don't have rock nuts to put in the kern, as we unfortunately have found out. And it looks like it actually is using the nuts, which is a bit odd to me, because then you don't have any seeds to put back into this. Okay. A little research may be required, but for now, let's consider this mostly functioning, other than lack of rock nuts. And we do have jugs being made for the oil when we get that. So let's focus on 2 things for now. One will be to create stuff that the trading caravan will be able to buy from us, so we can actually trade with them, and that should be happening quite soon, actually. So we don't want to wait too long. And secondly, try to expand our little island over here. And as I've been alluding to, I want to drain out this area here. It shouldn't be the end of the world. How deep is this? Ooh, okay. Too deep. All right. Let's see. It branches out that way, and it branches out this way. Let's take a look, actually. Is there something we can do to make that less horrible? If I wanted to be a bit cheeky, I don't know if... No, it does meet the side of the map. I was going to say, if this doesn't meet the side of the map, then it might not refill, and I could just flood it out the side of the map, but no, it does look like it does indeed go to the side of the map. So we're going to have to pump this water out, and we're going to have to keep it from refilling. So we'll have to make a plug. I'm thinking around here. Here as well. This is very complex network down here. Okay. Alternatively, clay loam floor. This is clay stone. Yeah, I was gonna say alternatively I could dig out a bigger area and see if this floor fungus grows on it, but it won't quite work. I'm going to have to think about that. Okay, first things first though, let's focus on the stuff to sell for the market. Actually, no, let's focus on making a trade depot so our caravan can go somewhere. Do we not have one set up? We do not. So trade depot right here. And we're going to, we'll take claystone. You know what? It's also a very nice material. It's a dark brown, kind of chocolatey looking. I like it. Let that go. And we're also going to, what is this? Stoneworker? We do not need a stoneworker. We're going to have a crafts dwarf area. So workshop crafts. Let's place this here. It could be out of claystone. Oh, actually I wanted at least 2 more. So here we go. Here, claystone, and here, claystone. And this is just kind of for now. Let's take a look back down at the fishery. I want to see, am I picking up mussels? Mussel shells, yes, perfect. Okay, mussel shells are good because they're easy to transport and they can be turned into things in the crafts dwarf area. So let's make a bunch of crowns, just mussel crowns. The first year we'll be selling mussel crowns. That's the hope anyway. Here we go. And this one over here, shell crowns. There we go. Now the dwarves are already working on this. We're going to need this because, as we found out, our quarry bushes, we're going to need more seeds for that. It seems like we haven't used them up quickly enough, or I'm not exactly sure what's happening with that. And we're also going to need some wood because we've just run out, unfortunately. Yeah, and trees aren't regrowing really quickly. So, let me see. So we need to block off this area and this area. Yeah, and it's 1, 2 things deep. Okay. It's always a little dangerous to do this though, but I think we can. I think we can do it. Okay, so let us queue up some tasks for this. And it takes that exact shape. Yes, it does. And there's a little thing at the bottom here. We can deal with that later. So let's go up here and just dig this out. And dig this out. And dig this out. And oh, actually, no, I don't need to go that far. Okay, let's dig this out. Something like this. I've never actually done a plug before. I've known people that have done them, and I know they work. I just have never actually tested this. Here we go. What I do know is that diagonals do not work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a little jump cut until I've kind of set up what I want my plugs digging orders to be, and I'll be right back. I'll also be right back if the caravan arrives a little early, or earlier than it takes me to set this up. So I'll see you in a bit. And we are back momentarily. So as you see on my screen right now, the first caravan has indeed arrived. This is good for us. We'll be able to stock up on rock nuts and on wood. It'll move the issue of getting new fungal wood down the line for now. So let's just go ahead and go back up to the surface. As you could just see previously, I had started digging out an area to be able to make the plug. That should be fine. We'll get back to that. We're just going to wait for these guys to arrive. So here we go. The caravans have indeed arrived. Diplomacy. The expedition leader, Kib, meets with the outpost liaison, Ral. I am your liaison for the mountain homes. Let's discuss your situation. Okay. There's much to share. They gave us more information about the civilizations of the world. Fantastic. And they want us to give them a little request. You know what? We're not having the best luck with rock nuts. Let's make sure that's queued up for next year. we could probably ask for other things, but I think we'll be okay for the plump helmets. I think we've got that down. We're going to go ahead and ask them for some help for tower cap logs. Right now, we have a plan to get more wood, but down the line, I'm not sure how well that'll go. Okay, let's just kind of future-proof ourselves here for a moment. Let's see, is there anything else we really need? No, we have food going with our muscle production. We have drinks going with our caps. We have most of everything we need. I guess we're going to need some cloth. But they usually bring that. Let's ask for silk. Yeah, let's ask for cave spider silk. And those three things I think are going to be the main focus for next year. Okay. Let's discuss what we are willing to offer for your crass dwarf ship. A need for sheet and splints is expected. Well, that's unfortunate. We have neither sheets nor splints, nor do we have anything to really make them with. And if you are able to provide some, the caravan will offer better prices. Yeah, double the prices. This export agreement only applies to trades next year. Okay, well, that's fine. So we are paused, and we will move to the depot all the crowns we've been making. So we have quite a few. Let's just select them real quick. Yeah. Do we have anything else we could give them? Unfortunately, we do not have any soap. I was hoping we'd have at least 1 bar of soap for the year, but that is not the case. Okay, so if we click on this, we see that there's 20 items going to be moved here. So let's just let them do that real quick. You do not have a broker. Oh, that is an issue. Okay, so let's go over to Noble and Administrator. Thank you for the message. Not again. And set someone as our broker. It seems that Kib is pretty good at talking, so let's let Kib do the talking. Unsurprising, because I think they're the expedition leader. So we now have a broker, and once these items get moved here, we're going to tell him to stay. There we go. Make a shell crowd. Trade. Okay. Trading. They will give us 10 for each. That gives us 210. Ooh, okay. Let's see. We're going to need wood. We're going to need wood. We're going to need rock nuts as well. So let's just write rock. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. It looks like they might not have any. Let's take a quick look. No, I don't see any rock nuts. So they have very little wood and no rock nuts. Okay, what else do they have then? Is there anything worth picking up? Let's see, we have some of those. There's water skins. Suppose we could ask for water skins. Oh, we have some musical instruments. That might be interesting. A horse, a donkey, a cave boar. A cave boar, I'm sorry. I kind of want to know what a cave boar is. That sounds amazing. And a nickel silver cage. Interesting. Let's see, what else do we have? Beer, ale, training sword. And I'm just going to turn the thing off here. We have a bunch of leather. Spider silk. Okay. We do have silk. We don't have anything to do with the silk though right now, so let's not get into that right away. We have a bunch of meats, a bunch of fishes, plump helmets, quarter bush leaves. As we found out, quarter bush leaves don't actually, that's not where the oil comes from, so that's a bit of a problem. I was certain it was from the leaves, but it looks like it is not. We'll have to figure out what that does. And nothing that we really want. Okay, but they would be happy with this trade for muscles against some wood and a boar. So let's go ahead and trade. Here we go. Wonderful. Here we go. I just scrolled very quickly. Okay, so let us go back to not needing a broker at this time. I'm going to move some of these things down into the caverns below, and I'll be back once the plugs are ready for our next expansion down in the caverns. And hopefully on the fungal floor, we'll actually have quarry bushes popping up and we'll have new seeds. That's the plan. So see you in a bit. And we are back. I just realized that I accidentally clicked on the recording button, so I'm not exactly sure where I stopped recording this. It's either right before I started making the first plug, or like a few moments ago. So let me just reiterate what happened with our first plug attempt. It did in fact work. So if you go down here, you can see it's plugged all the way down to the bottom. It's actually sticking out a little bit, so we may have gone overboard with the amount of stone we needed to drop. However, as you may have seen, first off, well, I had to dig out this wall, so we didn't pay the most attention to how I was making this. But more importantly, we lost a dwarf. Yeah, so what I think happened, the last little bit of wall that she broke was over here, and I think when this plug fell, it hit her and she fell in. So the hope with this one over here is that I'm going to take this last wall off from farther away from the plug so that more of the plug hits the water and nothing splashes up and grabs my dwarf and throws it down. At least that's the hope. But yeah, okay. So we're just gonna go ahead and add these two pieces of wall here. As I was saying previously, unfortunately, but she is on the wrong side of this wall. If she was on this side when we were able to drain this area out, we might be able to get her, but we can't get her. Her remains will stay there for now, which is not the best. Okay, now we're dropping the second plug, and hopefully from this high up, our miner dwarf over here, Ravod the miner, will be able to not die horribly. That's the hope. So, allons-y. Oh no. Oh no, Ravod, where are you? Oh, I don't like that. Look at all this. Open space, mist. Ravod? Oh, no, 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 no. It is ridiculously dangerous. Yeah, collapse, collapse. I'm not seeing fighting. I'm not seeing fighting. Ravod? No job. Where are you, Ravod? Where are you? You're over here. Oh, thank heavens. Okay. So if I click on Ravod, she is unconscious. Not good. You know, generally. But it doesn't say like she's injured. So let's give her a few moments. Stunned, clean self, healthy. Oh, good. Okay, that was terrifying. So, our plug did work this time, and doing this from a higher elevation seems to be the way. Ooh. Once again, when this falls, she might be tossed this way. As long as she's not tossed into the water, we should be good. Okay, so the plug is here, and it has functioned. Right now the water's going crazy. We'll just let that kind of ease out a little bit. But the plug did function. We do have stone all the way down to the bottom, plugging up this entire area. Very good. So at this elevation, at least, our next plug should be coming down here, which should cut off water from this cavern layer. Now, knowing that, if we go one level deeper, there actually is... there's like a little bit of space here where this might not work. We'll have to see. I don't know if water will go back upwards. It should, I believe. So this may be a problem. We may have to like block off all these tiny areas, and I'm not 100% sure how we're going to do that, to be honest. Ooh, okay, well that's the problem for a little bit later. Right now, Ravod is well. Our plug did work, and we have this plug over here to dig out. So Ravod, when you are ready, dig out this plug, and I'll be back right after the plug has been dug. And we are back. Okay, so this massive bit of stone here that we're going to use as our next plug down here has been carved out. There is only one little bit of clay stone left holding it in place. I made this area here in the hopes that if Ravod stands here when this falls and she is pushed back, she'll be pushed into the area. I was a little uncomfortable about having her doing it here. So I've now queued up the next little section to be taken off. This plug is ready to go, and she's coming up. She is digging. Giant rat is fighting, dog is fighting. What? Okay, let's go see what's happening with that. All right. Colony of ants. I don't see any of those. All right, let's go back down. Also, while the traders were here, still they got attacked by a badger, which they took out, and I put a little butcher shop up so that we'd be able to collect some of that food. Might as well, right? Which probably means we have tallow now, which means we can make our first bar of soap. But first, let's just look at Ravod. You know, do this. All right, let's do it. Okay. It has come down. Alert. It's collapsed. Fighting. Giant rat again. Where's this giant rat? Oh. Dog is fighting. Giant rat is fighting. Is this just a pest? Are there just giant rats that appear and the dog just keeps fighting it? That's okay. We don't care about that. The dog seems fine, right? Healthy. This one over here is healthy. Yeah, they're just fighting some rats. Okay, so this is still falling. Collapsed. Ravod is here. She is unconscious once again. If we make any more of these plugs, what I have to do is make sure that it's on the top layer that I break it off. Otherwise, maybe there's a way to like make a contraption to just let go of the block. Have to look into that. Anyway. So, yeah, she's confused after being knocked out during a cave-in. She's annoyed after choking on dust underground. Oh, Ravod. At least you're alive, and that's the main thing. Okay. So if we go down, this has fallen. This is here, this is here. I believe this is just an unimportant area. Oh, we missed our mark. Yeah, we missed our mark. So there are still spaces where the water can pass. Oh no. Oh, Ravod will not be pleased about that. Okay, that means more plugs to be made. Right up here. And it's right here, correct? No, incorrect. Right here. How deep? 1, 2? Okay, 2 deep. Alright, so once again, we'll cut off till the next cave-in, essentially. The next plug is ready, so I'll be right back. And we are back. Okay, so I have dug out this little plug all the way down to the bottom here. That's going to fit into that, hopefully. As we can see, there are still a few dwarves that are smoothing out some walls. Unfortunately for me... Oh, wait. Where is this? Here. Okay, I have to get rid of that just in case it is doing some sort of connection there. Unfortunately for me, I had to dig up higher, which means that I've essentially dug into an aquifer. Not the best, but I managed to smooth out these walls. I think the water that's dripping in right now is coming from the ceiling, so I'm going to have to deal with that after. Okay, but before we do, Ravod, you are going to let go of this block. You should have enough space behind you that if you fall back, you don't fall forward, if that makes any sense. So let's go. Let's just do the dig. She's not doing the dig. Well, that's understandable, I guess. I wouldn't want to do the dig either. Right now. She's gone to do other things. Okay. All right. Ravod? Where are you? Ravod the miner, she's sleeping. All right. Well, let's give her a few moments. And we are back once again. I have Ravod taking off this last little bit of dirt here. As you see, there's quite a bit of water because we had to dig into an aquifer. I'm hoping that's not a problem. The water seems to be coming from the ceiling, so there's probably like aquifer layers above it. But we're well into aquifer territory here, so if we try to fix this, it's going to be really messy. Though I may make a stone wall over here and over here after we're done, kind of trap the aquifer in, if that makes any sense. Everything else has been smoothed out, so it shouldn't be the end of the world. But yes, we have our plug. It is set to fall right here and plug the last little bit that we have from these cavern layers over here. And we're just waiting for Ravod to do it. Now, I've also told her to dig off the last piece from the top. Hopefully this helps, because there should be nothing around should fall for quite a while before it hits anything. I'm hoping it doesn't make dust and toss her back, but we're about to see, so let's go. Oh! Apparently a giant rat has guzzled some dwarven wine. Well, that's a problem. Yeah, our drinks are falling fast. Okay, I'm gonna have to deal with that. But we see that Ravod has not been knocked out this time, so that is the way to do it. Now, if we go down, it has plugged this, and I think this is not a layer with water. Open space. No. So the water that is on this side here is from the splashing of the rocks. So we seem to have blocked this off over here and over here. So this cavern layer, at least, of water is now ready to be emptied of water. However, there is another one underneath, and I'm fairly certain that's actually a problem. Mostly as this is our fort right here, so there's not a lot we can do for this. Okay, well, we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that after. Right now we have just the one issue, as Ravod is perfectly fine. What is this rat doing? Giant rat corpse. Oh my god, did it drink itself to death? Alright. We're gonna brew some more wine. Oh wow, look at all this water moving around here. All over the place. Alright. So, let me double check over here. So quarry bushes, we no longer have any quarry bushes because of reasons. So, there's water coming down here. Actually, you know what? Let's go back up to this level here where the water's coming from, and let's block this off. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to keep it from coming into the fort. And we are going to do the next thing that we need. So to move water out, it's gonna be around here somewhere. To move water out, you need to build something in the Mechanics and Fluids tab called a screw pump. Perfect. So what this is going to do is it's going to essentially move liquids upwards. So is there an easy way to show this? So if you have, let's do it in the middle of nowhere. So the idea is that we're going to have water up down here, and we're going to put the screw pump up here, and the dwarf is going to come up to the screw pump, and it's going to take the water from down here, and it's going to move it over this way. So this is like a side section, if you will. So what we're going to do is we're going to dig out an area right over here, as such. Open water space. Okay, that's because of all the splashing. That should be fine. And we're going to dig all the way over to the edge of the map, as such. Now, we can't actually dig into the edge of the map, but what we can do is... let me see. Smoothing. Carve a gap and smooth wall. Here we go. We're going to queue that up there. Can we not? Ooh. Okay, maybe it's because we don't see the wall yet. So we're going to queue this up over here. We'll have a screw pump pointing this way, and we're just going to take the water out of here and toss it outside the map boundaries. That should work. Oh, we can't do that? Okay, well that is an issue then. Okay, plan B. As we've locked this area off now, we're going to have the screw pump let's get rid of these demonstration thing stuff here. We're going to have the screw pump, maybe have 2 of it to make it go faster. And we're just going to push the water this way. Right, and dig this out here. So Ravod should start digging that out quite soon. And we need to build the screw pump. So let's take a look. Fluids, screw pump, use a screw pump, blah 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 blah. Okay, and we have this. And if we just set it here, need screw trap components. Okay, make it a workshop first. Needs pipe section. Make it a workshop first. No access to true screw trap. So we need a pipe and a screw trap. Okay. In that case, I think we can use stone for these things. I'm hoping we can use stone for these things. So let's dig this out right as such once Ravod is done, and we'll make a workshop, and a screw press is not what we want. We want a mechanic shop, and I think this will be able to make us like have both the pipes and everything. Oh, the water's really coming in now. Oh no, this is getting messy. Okay, we have placed a wall here though, so we should be able to make a new wall right here, make it out of claystone, and then the water shouldn't be coming this way anymore. I was gonna say this does mean that the water should still be trickling here, but that's not an issue, but I don't think it will. And we're saving. Okay, let's just wait for the save to be done. And done. And then we'll go back to our digging and our future mechanic shop. Here we go. So Ravod is doing a fantastic job over here. Now the hope is that with this screw pump, it's how large is the screw pump actually? It doesn't let the water back. Screw pump. It looks like it's 2 by 2. I may have made this at the wrong place. So we want the water going that way. See the liquid flow direction below. Yeah, we want it that way. And it should stop it from coming back. So I did make it a little bit off. Okay. Ravod, we are going to need you to do this. And we're going to make a wall section right here out of claystone. And here we go. It's a good thing that this isn't a tutorial series, because this fortress is already falling apart. Here we go. Ravod is digging that area out. Ooh. And dig. We're almost done. And of course, as I queued up to make a stockpile, Ravod went on to dig in a new spot. Okay, mechanics right here. Let's give her the sandstone block. It doesn't fit with these ones, but that's fine. And I should be able to view stockpile and just grow this out real quick. Here we go. The mechanics workshop is being built, and it is done. I'll pause it for a moment. I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed with how much things are going on right now. We can make a rock mechanism. We can't make a pipe though. So maybe we need wooden pipes, which is good that I've kept the wood so far. Pipe section. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so we need at least 2 pipe sections. Pipe section. Pipe section. Okay, so we should have enough wood to make those 2 pipe sections. They're already building that. Here we go. This dwarf is mechanizing some mechanisms. I believe that's the correct term. Here we go. Mechanism is being built. And the wood pipe is being built. This section has been built. Okay, I am now going to uncover this space, which is a little iffy. Oh, I'm a little uncomfortable about that because there's a lot of water moving around over here. I may have made those plugs a little bit too well. Yeah, there's water coming in. Okay, that's all right. Let us have a screw pump. Make sure the water is going in that direction. Place this down. Water location. Okay, let's wait for the water to ease up a little bit. I can help it out by opening this up as well. Once again, this water should only be from the splashing. and water that's been displaced by these plugs. So it shouldn't be the end of the world. What I'm going to do, however, while that's kind of flooding out, is make a new wall right here, so that we don't flood our farms and such. Yeah, the water is slowly moving this way. It's also moving that way, which is perfectly fine. We have a wall coming down. Perfect. All right, so the farm plots are fine, and this should kind of drain out in this direction eventually. All right, there's a stink here. It's the rat, isn't it? It's splattered with vomit. It's splattered with vomit. It's splattered with vomit. Okay. Let's go back up to the top. Let's try to ease up life for these dwarves just a moment. Let's have a garbage dump right here. And if I go back down, I should be able to queue up this rat to be tossed in the garbage dump. There we go. Someone will move that. The unenviable job of moving a deceased, drunken giant rat. Winter is upon me. Let me see. We have drinks, but not as much as I would like, so we'll queue that up. And I'm looking at the time, and this is actually, it's been quite an episode. So let's just take stock of where we are right now. Pause the game, scroll out. Okay, so I started off this episode with the thought that we would be making soap, at least not like full production, but at least a starting of making soap. We have actually quite a few things that we need for the soap. So we have our wood furnace over here that makes ash. We have the ashery that turns the ash into lye. We have a kern down here that is able to take the seeds and turn it into oil. We have at the top, let's just loop over here. We have at the top a kiln that is taking the clay, and quite a bit of clay. I have told it to stop because, yeah, it was starting to be a bit much, and turn them into jugs. So we actually have a few jugs for the oil when we have it. If I click back down here, that's a bit low. Okay, here we go. And we now have the clay for the jugs that we can use on the kern to be able to get the oil from our farm plots. For some reason, the rock bushes, I've run out of seeds, and I don't seem to have any rock nuts, which are the seeds. I'm a little confused on that one. Maybe they went bad in the fields. That would be a pain. But once we have that going, we'll have oil, and then we'll have the oil we need, and we'll have the lye that we need to make soap. These are the only two things that we need. Actually, because we cut up that honey badger, let's do this. Let's make a single bar of soap, just to finish the episode today. Here we go. And someone's running over. We have the lye in the soap maker's workshop. We should have the tallow, honey badger tallow, in the soap maker's workshop. She is making the soap, and oh. There we go. We now have a honey badger soap. Let's take a look at this soap. This is honey badger soap. Fantastic. It is worth 5. It has a weight of 3. It can be used in cleaning. There we go. These 2 episodes so far have been in the hopes of making a soap making empire, and we have officially made our first bar of soap. Okay. So next time, and I do want to have at least one more episode of this, because 1 bar of soap that is worth, how much did we say? 3? Let me check. 5. That is worth 5 is not going to make us a commercial empire of soap making. We set out to be the Avon of the dwarf empire, and you don't make Avon with a single bar of soap. However, I may make a pedestal for this single bar of soap and place it somewhere, so that we have like the first bar. Oops, sorry, I hit my microphone there. So we have somewhere the first bar of soap ever made by our trade empire. Fantastic. So in the next episode, my goal is to wait for this water to clear out a little bit so that we can make screw pumps, empty out this cavern layer right here. This should be emptied, and I'm hoping the fluid dynamics doesn't push the water from the bottom in, but I think it normally does. So we'll figure out how to deal with that. But mostly because our fortress is right above this, I may have to do something like, oh, the underground here is very, okay. So I'd have to make something out here, is what that means. Something out, oh, here, okay. Or here? Here. Okay, so it is possible to block that off, is the main thing. So in the next episode, yeah, we'll empty out this area, grow our area that we can have these mycelial stuff, because as you can see, they are growing like dimple cups and plump helmets and new giant mushrooms for the wood, and there's already some giant mushrooms down here, so it'll be good to have access to all this and be able to grow our soap making empire a little bit more. But until then, for today, this is where we're going to leave it. So I'm just going to say goodbye.